Are there any successes with the implementation of the local government autonomy that you have noticed so far? Okay, I want to believe you can hear me. So I'd just like to find out from you, based on your observations so far, if there have been successes recorded since the implementation of the local government autonomy.
Well, for me, I want to start by saying that it was a good move from the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that the Minister for Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, SCN Lateef Fagbemi, approached the Supreme Court, in which we had a very landmark ruling in July, which granted full autonomy to local government administration in the country. We know what has been the development in the past, where we see governors on most of our states, living large on local government funds. And I dare say that I'm not sure if there's any one of these state executives that have not been found wanting in this regard, and stand to be corrected. So for the Minister of Justice to have taken that bold step, in which the Supreme Court gave that the landmark ruling in favor of local government autonomy, was for me a right in the step direction. But what next after the Supreme Court ruling? The ruling came in July, and we are now in January 2025. That's about 6-7 months down the line, and we have not seen that coming into effect in full force. And I also recall vividly that the Minister for Justice then said that the ruling will take immediate effect, that the implementation, if you can fact check this, the minister said it then, that the implementation of this Supreme Court ruling will take immediate effect. And you and I know that after the Supreme Court ruling, the next place you can go is to, if you are not satisfied, is to go to, I don't know whether I would like to say, you go to the court of the Almighty, if there is anything like that. So Supreme Court is the apex court in the land, and whatever ruling it has given, whether you like it or not, whether it's in your favor or not, you just have to accept it. But it is sad that 6-7 months down the line, we are yet to see this take a full effect. And I don't want to put the blame on the Minister for Justice, because we know the way politics is being played around in our own environment. And you know that these governors who are also heading the subnationals are also very powerful. You have to tread cautiously with them, because this is a largesse that they've enjoyed over the years. And for somebody to have decided that there must be a change, let's change the narrative, which is to a large extent will be to the benefit of a majority of Nigerians. Of course, we expect to see a stiff opposition to this new change coming from the federal government. However, we also got the report that the local government will start receiving their fund allocation from FAC. That's the Federal Allocation Committee, FAC, from January this year.
Okay.
We had that report. So we are expecting to see that also take effect any moment from now.
So this would actually mean that local government administrations are not really faring, because it seems as though the implementation has not been in full effect. Then why would the state governments want to keep a stranglehold on the finances of these local governments? Is there any tenable excuse for that?
Well, over the years, just like I rightly highlighted earlier, local government seems to be like an appendage of state government. And if you look critically in our constitution, I don't think there is anywhere that is categorically stated that local government is the third tier of government. I stand to be corrected. Just because of the political convenience that we say government at the federal level, government at the state level, and also government at the local government level. I'm not sure there is anywhere in our constitution that we have it categorically written or stated that local government as the third tier of government. What we have seen over the years is local government also working in tandem with the state government. And you also recall that the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he was the governor of Lagos State between 1999 and 2007, thereabouts, he created what was known then as the LGAs. We used to have 20 local governments in Lagos State, but in 2003, I remember, he created additional 37 LGAs. And I remember that some other governors, they followed suit. They took after him and created more local government, because whether we like it or not, allocations are also distributed based on the number of local governments in across the state. You remember the case of Kano and Jigawa, I guess, when Jigawa was pulled out of Kano. At the moment, Kano has the highest number of local government in the country. I think around 44 thereabout. Jigawa that was pulled out of Kano then also has, I think, minimum about 30 or 30 something local government. So now Lagos, that has the highest population in the country, we still have about 20 local government as we speak.
All right, so now that we are having
about 20 million.
Mr. Olakpade, now that we're having a drag on the finances between the local government and the state government, what do you think the way forward is?
Well, the way forward, number one, we have a landmark judgment from the Supreme Court. And like I said, Supreme Court is a court of finality in the country. It's the apex court in the land. So if a ruling is given, whether in your favor or otherwise, you have no other place to go. You have nowhere to go again than for you to abide, than for you to accept that ruling in good faith. So there is no going back. We have reached a point of no return on this local government autonomy. What I expect now is I want a courageous and a bold step from both the president and also the Minister of Justice in ensuring that our local government receive their monthly allocation directly from FAC, and not a case of the joint allocation, which is known as JAC, which is also, unfortunately, another creation of the Constitution. The Constitution created the JAC, and JAC is still there. So I also wonder why the minister did not even thought it wise to also consider a kind of amendment as regard what JAC also represents. Because when this money comes from the federal government, it goes straight into JAC. Okay. And it's from JAC that the state governor now decide to distribute to local government by their whims and caprices. They don't even give according to what they're supposed to get. And that's the reason why we also find it so difficult sometimes to also hold this local government chairman accountable. Because you and I know that they're also not receiving money that's supposed to get in the first instance from the federal government or the state governors, as the case may be.
All right, so Mr. Olakpade, just to clarify, Section 318 subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution actually defines what government in a democratic setting is, which actually, admits that the local government is a third tier of government. There's also a Section 7 of it. But it seems as though the rule of law is not being obeyed in this instance. So when we have a government that is not subject to the rule of law, according to the Supreme Court dictates, then how do we now ensure that the government toes the path of justice in a democratic setting?
Okay, well, I stand to be corrected by the sections of the Constitution that you quoted. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a journalist like you. So I agree with the section that we have quoted. So on the way out of this, I expect that even we Nigerians must also ensure that we support this move by the federal government. You and I live in local government, and we also live in a state, and by extension, in a country called Nigeria. If you have development at every other local government, we have 774 local government across the country. This will also translate into development in states, and by extension to our country, Nigeria. It will be difficult for you and I to say, I want to protest to Alausa because I'm not getting potable water, or my drainage are dirty or are blocked. It will also be difficult for you and I to say, want to protest to Abuja to say, we are not getting the dividend of democracy in our council, but we can easily go to our different local government. And that's why they say they are the closest to the people. And that's the reason why local government is encouraged to also perform as expected, but in a way they are not getting the needed fund from the state or even maybe from the federal allocation. It will be difficult for us to hold them accountable. So I want to see a change in the sense that by the time they start receiving this allocation, and is to acknowledge as Nigerians, we have the rights. Is a right incumbent upon us to challenge them and ask them to give accounts of money they receive as soon as they start receiving this money directly from the Federation account.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Taiwo Olakpade, for sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much for having me.